actions got them boys about to mass up. Lectures from the devil got you piping hot. This up and you get screwed and chopped, no Michael Watts. When I was 10, I knew I should have been on Rap a Lot. Think like Jay Prince and I do more than just rap a lot. Listen, I went and got my digits up. Listen, your favorite, bruh. Listen, you don't want no trouble, cuz. The 25th, I got a meeting with...
Today, from Soldier Field in Chicago, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports.
We've had a lake effect snow band sitting over Soldier Field since about 9 this morning, and it's not supposed to. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Dallas Cowboys and the Chicago Bears. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
I loved our discussion this week. You know, we had our weekly phone call to talk about our game coming up. And we had to reflect on the fact that he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award last week, yet his team lost. You don't see that very often.
No, I know a lot of people dislike that, but when you look at the numbers across the conference from last week, he was clearly the best. So I say the award goes to him, and it did.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. He was so good, they just couldn't ignore him.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Bears, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Prescott. And that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. They'll look to set up his blockers. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 12 carries, 66 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. A first down and then some for Montgomery. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. All right, when you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us to rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Pollard to return from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
To throw again on second down. Prescott, they'll set up the screen to Elliott. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs. So a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure is good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bears are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. To return from the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Second and 2. They'll give to Elliott. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
From the red zone now, Prescott. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And they'll get him down right around the 16. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
Now Elliott, and he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and goal, Prescott. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. From the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offense.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. A huge play there for Chicago. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Running left, Montgomery. And able to work his way down to the 16.
86 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down.
Touchdown, Bears! Tariq Cohen, his 11th touchdown of the year as the Bears push further out in front. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Dallas offense set for this next drive.
And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed
into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off at the 35.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
One play action, Fields.
They'll roll him out right. And a throw right sideline is complete. Touchdown!
Jarrell Mooney
with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, he can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as Ed sails over the end line. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. Again, it's Cooper as he makes the catch. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 43. Here's Prescott. Outright completes it to Jarwin. 7 yards, the pickup there. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
On 2nd down now. It's Elliott. Oh, Zeke with a quick feed. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive. And here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Now Prescott. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 115 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. On 1st down, Fields. Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Out to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. Darnell Mooney the target there. And it's 3rd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try and pass.
And oh, he caught it up. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Being chased out left. And he is across midfield from one 49 to the other 49. A gain of just 2. From just shy of midfield, Prescott. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. Prescott on 1st down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and they will score. A pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Now the point after try for Santos. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Prescott from the gun. Right back to Cooper, and he got him again. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Zerline's kick is up and through. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. This one fielded at the 5. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. He's showing off that arm, showing it off very well. They've got the lead. Don't forget, though, about the protection he's had. The protection's been good.
And I'll guarantee you he hasn't forgotten about it at all because that's keeping him clean in the pocket, allowing him to step into throws and make those deep passes come true. I mean, it's just been beautiful for him to do. But guess what? In the huddle, on the sidelines, guaranteed he's thanking those big guys up front for keeping him.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. He'll buy some time right. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. That's caught inside the 20. And I think the ball's out. And this is going to get out of bounds through the end zone. And that will go as a turnover as the defense will get it at the 20-yard line.
Looking at it from the defense's perspective, they could have really used the football to try to start eating into this deficit.
Yeah, because now possession's so crucial at this stage of the game. And when you've got an opportunity to hop on a turnover and you don't get it, you can feel the frustration all the way up here.
And the offense, they're living right now. Another bounce and break that goes their way. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Mike 6, 33. Come this way. Here we go. Kill. 47. Championships, baby.
First down, Prescott. He'll get this to Elliott. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Mike 5. We're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Mike 5. Who that?
Prescott to throw it. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Tarek Barnett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? We usually talk about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Now Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for first and 10. The give is to Elliott. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll run it with Elliott. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more. This time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble. And it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Prescott.
Open man, right side, it's Lamb.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Prescott now. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. 4th and 2, they got it. That was kind of that gray area. Is that a feel thing, whether you go run or pass there offensively?
I think it's a feel thing. It's a tendency thing about what you like to do yourself on offense, as well as knowing how strong they are against the run on defense. Got to make a decision, and they made the correct one.
Off the play fake, Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Sean McKeon.
His first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys get a bit closer.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it's capped off for the Cowboys touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
From the 6. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good. And I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because, you know, the defense is kicking coverages towards him, trying their best to slow him down, and he keeps getting the better of them.
Yeah, whatever they've done, it hasn't worked.
A 2nd and 10 on a chilly, snowy December day, and I must say, I'm loving it. Kind of putting me in the holiday spirit. Charles hates it. He's giving me the evil eye, folks.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
On first down, Montgomery. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory.
121 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back.
A shotgun snap, Fields. It's caught by OBJ. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously, he is well short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw taken in by Jarwin. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott, and that's Elliott, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Prescott gets this to the tight end, Jarwin. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 37.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 19. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. The tight end Jarwin with it out on the left side. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone.
And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. CeeDee Lamb, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Zerline now for the PAT. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. And the Bears hands team able to pass
on it and get the football. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
That's complete right side to Komet. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back.
Field's going to toss this quickly out wide, complete. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Read option, here's Montgomery.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Off the option, here's Montgomery.
And this time he is in. David Montgomery taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Bears add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. The touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it. And
that's caught inside the 35. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. A big play here for Dallas.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. They'll throw again. Prescott on the crossing route. He hits his man, Amari Cooper. And now they're in the hurry-up. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete.
That catch good for only a couple. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bears, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, it's a loss that could have implications on the playoff race as they fall to 9-4. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis.